Hi everyone, welcome to this video where we are going to talk about the Sinquefield Cup. This tournament is taking place in the US and 7 rounds have been completed. Alireza Firuza is running away with the tournament with 5 out of 7. We have the two Indian youngsters, Pragnananda and Gukesh, who have drawn all of their games, 7 draws out of 7 rounds. So they are on 3.5 points. But in this video, I want to show you a very interesting battle. This is between Jan Nepomniachtchi playing with the white pieces against Fabiano Caruana, who was black. And in this game, you will see that there are mistakes made even by the best players in the world. And I want you to find them and solve it. So you can pause the video whenever I ask the question, or you can click on the link below in the description and as well in the pinned comment where I have given a link of ChessRanga. This is ChessBase India's interactive platform for solving, and you will be able to learn more because the video pauses there automatically and you can make the moves. It'll be great fun. Okay, let's get cracking. Nepo opens the game with 1 e4. Caruana surprisingly plays the accelerated dragon. Now this move g6 is not a common guest at the top level. But anyway, he went the open Sicilian route, knight d4, bishop g7. And I thought that Nepo would go for c4, which is the Maroczy bind here, controlling the center even more. But he played his knight to c3. And very soon, we actually transposed into the normal dragon. Because after bishop c4 and bishop d3, black played the move d6, which kind of starts the normal dragon. If you don't want to play the normal dragon, you can play a move like a5 or queen a5, and all of these possibilities exist. But he played d6, and here Nepo could actually play f3 and then take it into normal territory. But now queen a5 was played, which is slightly, pinning the knight. Queen d3. And this move, I saw there are only some 15 or 18 games that have been played here, because generally you play queen d2. But he played his queen to d3. The knight came to e5, attacking it. Queen came back to d2. And now bishop d7, long castle, rook c8, king b1. The knight jumped to c4. This is very common in the dragon. You take, rook takes. And here, I think there are many ways for white to play and have a very stable position. Knight b3 is one of them. There's also, knight b3 seems like the normal one. But he went g4. Okay. Caruana said, I will play bishop e6 here. Which is interesting because now white can take knight e6, fe6. And I think this would be roughly equal. The main problem being that this pressure by the rook and this bishop on g7 is also putting pressure on the knight. So I felt like knight takes e6 is something that Nepo wanted to avoid here. And maybe his best move here was knight ce2, offering a trade of queens. But instead, he played here the move knight b3, attacking the queen. The queen had to go back to a6. And here, after queen a6, he played bishop d4, and here rook a c8 was played, doubling, and white now was very careless. He just pushed his pawn to g5, and this is my first point for you. First question: what do you play here as white? As black to play. Yes, knight takes e4. What a beautiful move this is. Now the queen is attacked. So either you take with the knight, okay, or you take with the pawn. Let's say you take with the knight. Now your question, what would you play here as black? Yes, if you take knight takes e4, then rook takes d4 is the winning move. Kudos if you found it. Because if knight takes d4, queen a2 check, king c1, queen a1 mate. Okay, so he took fe4 in the game. And now a question to you once again. What do you play here as black? So the move he played here, and I think a very, very good one, is bishop takes d4. White has to take with the knight. Knight takes d4. And now another question for you. What do you play here as black? Black to play. Yes, rook takes c3, because if b takes c3, then queen a2 is a mate happening, king c1, queen a1. And if you play rook takes c3, knight takes e6, there is rook takes c2. Very nice move. And I was trying to analyze this: queen c2, rook c2, king c2, queen c4 check, king b1, queen e4 check, king a1, queen takes e6, and you are many pawns down here, and black is winning in this queen versus 2 rooks endgame. So he played the move a3, but it's already a very bad position. And I think I loved Caruana's next move. There are many ways to win, but look at how the top players finish off the games. Queen c4, because now if there's a threat on a2 and there's also threat on c2, so if you play knight e6, I'll play rook c2. Beautiful move, queen c4. It just finishes off the game amazing. b3, he went queen c5, attacking a3 pawn, and then rook c1, queen takes a3 happened, and then he played h4. There was rook c5, wanting to go to a5, so he brought his rook out. So if you go to a5, I can take on c3, then there's no mate, there's a square on c1. But here after rook f1, he played bishop takes b3, very nice move, and this is game over, because whatever you take back with, let's say knight b3, I take rook takes b3, cb, queen b3, and now there are two moves, queen b2 and king a1. By the way, by now after bishop b3 he resigned, but let's say he goes queen b2, then queen d3 check. If king a1 or a2, there's rook a5, and it's completely winning. And instead of queen b2, if you play king a1, I play queen a3 check, queen a2, queen c3 check, queen b2, rook a5 check, king b1, queen d3, queen c2, and now many ways to win, but I think rook a1, king a1, queen c2 is winning. This endgame is winning. So I hope you were able to solve all these moves, little tactics that were there. This game ended very quickly. Caruana won it, and this is what happens even at the highest level. Mistakes do happen, and we all can learn from them. This is Sagar Shah signing off. Bye bye.